Okay, so when I was in the van this morning before I got out of bed, I was started to smell this burning smell, and there were people in the area mowing grass, so I thought it must have been to do with that. So I kind of ignored it for a bit, and then I noticed that it was still happening. And well, I'll show you rather than try to explain it. So this cable here, you can see how it's all melted and bubbly. You got melted plastic just near the tips of my fingers here as well. And this is the other cable that didn't burn, so you can see the difference. And so that was right here on my power regulator. So what I had to do is unscrew them and take them out, and I taped them up so they wouldn't touch and cause more problems. But this was really warm, my solar regulator. But when I went through the options, it was still charging. So I think it might have gotten a loose connection. So what I did is, this was going into here, but I cut the cables and I created an Anderson plug. That's because I can't easily get up on the roof to disconnect the solar power. So if I ever need to disconnect it, I can just pull out the Anderson plugs. Then I went to J-Car. So here we are, J-Car, just this morning. And I bought a meter of cable, $4.35. And that is this cable here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an Anderson plug to connect to the solar, and then obviously one side is going to go back into the solar regulator. And I don't really have mounts or tripods to show you the process, but I will stop and show you my progress as we go along. Alright. Okay, so essentially what I've done here is I have just split the cable in two, and then I'm going to put it into the wire strippers. Okay, so this may work. I've just got my phone leant up against drink can. So here's the wire strippers, and so essentially I just put that in the wire strippers like so, and then just adjust it to where I want it, and we have one done. We have two done. They're roughly the same size, which is good. Sometimes it's not, and it's a pain in the butt. Okay, so let's see if I can adjust some stuff so you can see what I'm doing. So here, I might have to put that a little bit higher so you can see it. There we go. Is that? Okay, so basically what I want to do now is, this is the Anderson clip that goes into this plastic thing. And so what we do, so make sure these wires are straight, and then basically test it. So you can see the wire here sticking up, too big. So what I want to do is just shorten the wire a little bit. With just wire cutters. Alright, so now I'll try again. Still a bit bigger than what I want. It doesn't really matter if it hangs out a little bit because it's going into the Anderson clip, but why not try to do it better? Alright, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm doing this in a very makeshift way. I'm just using a lighter, And where's my solder? Solder. Solder. Alright. And I might actually have to shut my doors, which is a pain, just to stop the wind while I do this part. Okay, we got some mood lighting in here. Alright, so with my lighter, I'm just going to, where's that light coming from? Is that coming from up here? Let's see if I can show that. You still got the light, but it's better. Alright, so now I'm just going to heat this up. Might take a bit to heat up. This is and once it gets to the right temperature, the sweet spot, which I think it's at now, the solder will just melt into here. Let's just continue heating that a little bit. Okay, so then while that solder is still liquid, I just stick my wire in. And then I have to wait for it to cool down. Actually, see how I'm tugging on that and it's not going anywhere, so the solder has started to set. Alright, I'm going to open these barn doors up again because I'm starting to sweat already. Alright, so I'm going to take this out. And that's still very, very, very hot. Alright, so now I've got a second clip. And I'm going to put it in here as well. And again, I'm going to put wire in, which I know is going to be too long. And I'm just going to cut the wire. Yay. Alright. Whoops. Alright, let's heat this up. Close to barn door. Again, I just stick the cable all the way down. I just hold it there for a bit until the solder sets. I tug that ever so gently, you see that solder is set. So now that I have the two of these, this one's still a bit hot, but this red one is okay. And so the red is positive, the black is negative. So basically on the Anderson plug, see plus and negative. Alright, so what I want to do now is on this plug, I don't know if you can see it, but see how there's a little notch? That notch inside the Anderson plug, can you see inside the Anderson plug? Where's the, oh yeah, there you go. See that metal that's in there? It clips over that metal, so once it's in, it can't really come out again. So what I want to do is put the red wire into the positive. And what I found is I need to get a screwdriver and just hold it down. I might not be able to do this on camera. Okay, I'm going to assume that that one's in. I didn't hear it click, but seems to be fairly solid. So then I take the black and put it into the negative. Again, we hold it down. There's probably a better way to do it than what I'm doing it. Alright, so now I have the Anderson plug, and all I'll do is on this side, I'll see if I can do it on camera. Oops. And I've split the cable a little bit. Again, we get the wire strippers. And strip it. Get the wire strippers again. More or less the same size. And then what I want to do is I want to solder the ends of these to make them thicker, so that when I put them in the solar regulator they stay in a bit better. Okay, so again I'm going to use my trusty lighter for this. I'm just going to heat this wire up. Whoa. It's not. By the way, I don't think you're supposed to be breathing in all that hot. And then what I want to do is just test. Okay, so now you can see I've got these two cables and I've soldered the ends so they're very stiff, and it should get a good connection and hold inside the solar regulator, and then I've got the Anderson plug on the other side which will connect to the solar panel on the roof. Alright. Okay, so now I've attached this cable to the solar regulator, and this one here is from the solar panel up above. So I'm going to plug these two in. And I'll see if I can show you the power regulator. Alright, so here's the power regulator. So you can see the battery's at 13.5 volts. Where are we? So the load is 6.3 amps. So we're getting 19 volts from the solar panel, 15.4 amps. What's that one? We don't care about. So the battery's at 13.5 volts. And that's 15.1 amps going into the battery right now. And the load again, 6.3 amps. So I'm obviously going to have to keep an eye on this just to make sure that it doesn't heat up. Because if it does, I'll have to disconnect it and see if I can find out what's going on. But hopefully I don't have any more issues with it, and with those Anderson plugs, if I do, I can just quickly disconnect it fairly easily. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And if you do subscribe, remember to press the bell button beside subscribe so you get notified when I publish a new video. Thanks for watching.